Ubisoft has done something that I wasn't sure was possible. They've taken what many consider to be one of the best Assassin's Creed games and made it even better. After spending dozens of hours sailing the Caribbean, I can confidently say Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced isn't just a visual upgrade, it's the definitive way to experience Edward's legendary journey. Is this the remake we've been waiting for? Let's talk about it. When Ubisoft announced they were remaking Assassin's Creed Black Flag, many people asked the question, why this game? The answer actually makes perfect sense. Black Flag has consistently ranked among the most beloved entries in the franchise. It's one of Ubisoft's safest bets, and creative director Paul Fu even referred to it as one of Ubisoft's crown jewels. If you're going to remake an Assassin's Creed game, this was always going to be near the top of the list. And after playing it, I can confidently and completely understand why. One thing that hasn't changed is just how incredible Edward Kenway is as a protagonist. Unlike many assassin heroes, Edward doesn't begin this journey because he's chasing justice. He's chasing money, fame, treasure. He gets swept into a conflict between assassins and Templars almost by accident, and watching him slowly evolve throughout the story remains as one of the strongest character arcs Ubisoft has ever written. Even 13 years later, the story still hits. One thing became obvious almost immediately. This isn't just a prettier version of Black Flag. Ubisoft rebuilt the game from the ground up. The Caribbean has never looked better. Water physics, lighting, dense jungles, and bustling pirate towns are incredible. Even diving beneath the ocean feels breathtaking. We've all gone back to old games we loved only to discover nostalgia made them better than they actually were. That wasn't the case here. Black Flag Resynced somehow feels exactly like I remembered, while also feeling far better than I remembered as well. That's an incredibly difficult balance to pull off. Ubisoft didn't simply improve the graphics, they expanded the experience. Returning players will find around 6 hours of brand new content, including additional story missions, new side activities, animus rifts, and an entirely new chapter. If you played Assassin's Creed Shadows, you'll probably recognize the direction Ubisoft is taking with those rift sequences. The best part, Edward is still the focus. Thankfully, we're not consistently being pulled away into the lengthy modern-day Abstergo sections. That alone will make a lot of longtime fans very happy. The real star of Black Flag has always been, and still is, the open world. And somehow, it's even better now. Every time I planned to continue the main story, something distracted me. Maybe I spotted a treasure map, maybe I found a ship worth attacking. Maybe I decided to hunt sharks for crafting materials, or maybe I sent my fleet across the ocean to gather resources that would improve my settlement back at Great Ignagua. Hours disappeared without even realizing it, and that's usually the sign of an incredible open world. It constantly rewards curiosity. One of my favorite additions, you can finally crouch whenever you want. Simple, but it's true. It's such a simple feature, but it completely changes stealth. I infiltrated pirate hideouts, silently eliminated enemies one by one, and honestly felt more like an assassin than ever before. One moment really stood out. While sneaking about trying to capture a warehouse, I accidentally knocked over a pot. The guards immediately heard the noise and came to investigate. One by one, they walked directly into my hidden blade. It's a small detail, but those reactive moments make the world feel genuinely alive and force me to pay way more attention to my surroundings than I anticipated. Combat does lean towards an easier side at moments. At one point I simply crouched into a bush, whistled, and eliminated nearly 8 guards without ever entering an actual fight. The strategy is probably a little overpowered. Thankfully, the game offers plenty of ways to approach combat, however. You can leap off rooftops, attack from underwater, use rope darts, engage in sword fights, or trigger some incredible brutal executions. Every weapon feels satisfying, every hit has weight, and the introduction of new enemy types help keep encounters fresh. Then there's the naval combat. Honestly, it remains one of the greatest naval systems ever created in gaming. Whether you're hunting merchant ships or laying siege to massive forts, every battle feels rewarding, and every victory helps strengthen both your fleet and the Jackdaw. Now, it wasn't completely perfect. I encountered 2 issues during my playthrough. The first happened during an early mission where I was supposed to follow another ship, except the ship just never left the dock. Reloading didn't completely solve the problem either because, well, the captain just never reached the ship. Instead, I killed him first. So I improvised. I eliminated the captain, stole the information I needed, and still completed the objective. Not exactly the intended solution, but it worked in the end. The second issue was a hard crash and sent me right back to the PlayStation dashboard. Thankfully, the autosave worked perfectly, and I jumped right back into the game without losing progress. Those were the only technical problems I experienced throughout the entire adventure. Considering the size of the world, I've seen far worse from much smaller games. Another thing I absolutely loved was the progression. Instead of endless RPG numbers and gear scores, Black Flag focuses on meaningful upgrades. Resources you collect actually improve your settlement. At Great Ignagua, you can upgrade your buildings, improve weapons, strengthen the Jackdaw. Everything feels worthwhile. Nothing feels like meaningless filler. Even the side activities all serve a purpose. Legendary pirates like Blackbeard remain unforgettable, while the newly added characters fit naturally into the adventure without feeling like content designed simply to extend the game's runtime. Ubisoft has taken one of the greatest Assassin's Creed games ever made and somehow improved nearly every aspect of it. Whether this is your first voyage alongside Edward Kenway, or you're returning after 13 years, like me, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is the definitive version of an already incredible game. It's beautiful, it's packed with meaningful content, the Caribbean remains one of the best open worlds Ubisoft has ever created, and despite a couple technical hiccups, this is one of the finest pirate adventures ever made. For me, it's not only one of the best Assassin's Creed games, it's also one of the strongest remakes we've seen in years. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more gaming reviews, previews, and industry news. And let me know down in the comments, do you think Assassin's Creed Black Flag deserved a remake? Or would you rather Ubisoft had remade a different Assassin's Creed game first? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.